Hello, friends and colleagues. What are you passionate about? Passionate.
The Passion Show on CFRU 93.3 FM, Guelph, Ontario. With Wizard.
I'm a water wizard, Harry.
With
Hello, world. You are listening to The Passion Show with Wizard on CFRU 93.3 FM. It is a do-it-together radio show all about passions and the people who have them. My name is Wizard.
My name is Byron.
Byron Donald Vincent Murray.
You got it. I don't. Your full name is
Wizard.
Wizard.
Wizard. That's right. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here. It's nice to be back in the studio.
Back in good old CFRU.
Yeah,
our favorite place to be.
It's been a while.
It's a gorgeous studio, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a portal. You know, you come in here, it's kind of dark. It's a long, narrow hallway, but once you're here, you're like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
And you have to walk all the way down to the end to get to the studio.
Yeah,
to the training studio.
This is my favorite studio, actually. I don't like the live to air.
No,
I don't like the production. I used to produce in here.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I love that it's called the training studio.
Yeah.
It reminds me that I'm always training.
Yes.
That I'm never quite fully there.
Yes.
And it's like, it's so warm in here.
It is.
It's
warmer than my house. My furnace is broken.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's funny. My house is in a basement. Not for much longer, though. But by the time this episode airs, I'll be well and truly moved.
Wow.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
But also scary.
I'll ask you more about that later.
Oh, yeah. Feel free.
Yeah.
Well, on this show, I am sort of an open book. Me and my listeners, my dear listeners, they know me pretty well.
Good.
So at some point, I'm sure they'll find out all about my new living situation.
Yeah.
Just like they know about everything about me.
What neighborhood are you in?
The Ward.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
We're going to be neighbors.
That's awesome.
We're going to live very close to one another indeed.
I'm excited.
I'm going to invest in a bicycle.
That's great.
And I'm going to hopefully try and start running.
Amazing.
Because running seems like the kind of thing that's nice to do.
Yeah. And you've got a membership to the grotto, so you'll be close by.
Yes, I do. Oh, I'm so close. A hop, skip, and a jump.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be magical.
Is this a long-term thing?
Hopefully, with any luck.
That's great.
I'm taking over a lease, which means I'm not locked in for a year.
Okay.
But like it's in my head.
Yeah.
I would like to stay in the Ward.
Yeah.
And the Ward is sort of been my final destination in Guelph.
Yeah.
It's sort of everyone wants to find themselves in the Ward.
I've been there for a while. It's nice.
It's a lovely community.
Yeah.
And I've spent the past 4 years sort of just like loitering in there, you know?
Yeah.
All my people are there. I'm always there poking around, dropping people off, picking people up.
It's a good spot. It really is. Like you got the river, you got Victoria and York, which CAA once voted as the worst intersection in Canada.
Ooh, I used to live on another one of the worst intersections in Canada.
Oh yeah,
that being good old Warncliffe and Oxford.
Where's that?
In London, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah, truly heinous.
Okay.
But hey, don't get it twisted though.
Yeah.
York and Victoria, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a pretty heinous intersection.
It's tricky.
I don't like it.
Is tricky.
I'm not fond of it.
No.
I have some fond memories there, though.
The roads along York, I imagine one day they'll resurface them, but York Road getting out of town is tricky, and then the turn to get into the Tim Hortons.
Oh, just nightmarish.
Yeah.
How is it that there is no entry to that plaza on the...
It's the train tracks.
The far part of... Oh,
it's the far side has the train tracks.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I have to like plan...
Yeah.
My whole experience around that.
Yeah.
And you know, there's so much fun stuff in that plaza. It's I want to go play pool. I want to go to Ethnic Supermarket.
Yeah.
I want to get my kids music lessons. Well, look at me. Remember, I don't have kids.
Yeah.
But I have a pretty great memory of, I guess, what's in that plaza.
You got to take your cat to the vet.
Exactly.
There's a vet there.
I have a cat.
Yeah,
that's so true.
There's all sorts of things, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But getting in there, it's like, how much you want to get T-boned today?
Yeah, it's spooky. At least they had that one light coming off of.
That's true. I like the new light. The new light is pretty great.
Why am I forgetting?
Whatever that road is called.
Florence.
I believe that.
Yeah.
And that's a
Florence.
convenience for you.
That's great for me. That's
yeah.
my neck of the woods.
That's your neck of the woods.
So it's pretty good. I'm glad.
And
that's
any
there.
frequent, summer beach volleyball players
Yes.
would get a lot out of that as well.
Yes. And then, if you're just moving in the neighborhood, you got the river, you got the OR, you got the grotto, which is really nice to be there.
Got Double Rainbow.
Double Rainbow. Up the road, I guess it's kind of out of the neighborhood, but it's close enough. Victoria's Pizza.
True.
That's close enough. And then you just got a lot of folks that live there. It's a kind of tightly packed neighborhood.
It's true. It's shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder. It used to be a lot cheaper, and then the tronification happened.
Yeah. I
But-
can feel that.
Yeah.
I can tell. I was like, oh, I bet you this used to be mint.
Yeah.
Like, as far as paying goes.
Yeah.
But, the tronification comes for everyone.
It comes
these
for
days.
everyone, yeah. And and maybe, I have to admit, when was it? 2006 I moved here.
Uh-huh.
So it happens to us all. I'm part of that process too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, so am I.
Yeah, we just make things cool, and then prices go up.
Oops.
Oops.
What can you do? Well, there's a lot you can do, but that's probably for another episode.
Yeah, it's another show.
That's where someone, hey, if you're listening to the show right now and you're passionate about like urbanization and
I got someone for you.
oh yeah,
I got someone for you. Daniel Rothstein.
I'll get them in touch.
Yeah, he's been on my show. He's a very sweet man. The urban geographer.
The urban geographer. Wow, that sounds like exactly what I just
He is
described.
so good, so smart. Loves Guelph. Loves
Uh-huh.
Toronto, where he lives. Yeah.
Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful. Really smart. Very broad thinker, and puts things into action in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set you all.
Please do.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's all coming together. I'm finally
coming
broadening my selection of passions on the show.
Yeah.
The long-running gag has been that the Passion Show almost exclusively entices people who are passionate about music and the arts. And all 20 whatever episodes I've done, more than half of them are about that.
Okay.
Not that I have a problem with that.
No.
I love music and I love the arts.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have some variation.
Yeah. I like that too. Or else, it's nice to have a theme a bit of the time, but it's nice to veer off and then let those branches lead to new branches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've always said that this show is whatever it wants to be. Like every time I sit down and hear is in many ways connected to the whole rest of the tapestry, but is also in many ways just, whatever happens.
Do you feel like this show is as much a reflection of you, or if not more, as much as the people who you're interviewing?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, this show definitely is. This has come up recently a couple times. And I I take pride in this show. And I like that it is a reflection of me.
Yeah.
And it's hard to deny that, the people who wind up on here are here because I know them. The show is about what it is because it's what I'm into.
Yeah.
But also, I've tried to record alone. Like you do wonderfully on your show, To Know the Land, every now and then. But when I try and do that, it's just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I record for 3 minutes and then I give up. So it certainly is a reflection of me. And there are some episodes more than others that are like about me. Sometimes people come in here and they just spend their whole hour asking me questions. And it's great. And I have no problem with that because that's what the show wants to be in those hours. But then in other hours, it's not like that at all.
No.
And I love it however it comes. And I take a lot of pride. I love this show. And I love that it's about me. It's my own artistic expression. I think, pride isn't a sin.
No. I feel like my show is like my own personal phonology journal. So I'm like keeping track of what's going on in the season. And instead of writing it down on a private piece of paper, I get to share and broadcast that interest. So it's like everything I do, I am looking at something else, but it's all framed through my gaze, right? It's all framed through how I look at the thing and what I'm curious about, what I'm interested in. So even if it's not naming me as the the viewer. You know, what's like Marshall McLuhan says, the medium is
The
the
medium
message.
is the message. Yes,
So it's
it
like
certainly does.
it's the radio is the medium, but it's also me. I am the medium by which it's going to. So the message is about how I interact with the world on my show, right? So this is you interacting with your social group. Yeah. So
the Passion Network.
The Passion Network. Yes.
That's what I've started calling it.
Yeah.
I like that sort of evolved. That's what the alliance is.
That's great.
The Passion Alliance does the ring as well.
That's good, but I like
The
Passion
Passion
Network.
Collective. The Passion Network
Collective.
has such a nice feeling to it.
Yeah.
Because it's a network. I like network stuff.
Yeah.
I've had some people come in here and talk about network ideas. There's a very great show about slime mold.
Ooh.
We got into that. And of course, I couldn't help but say, oh, slime mold sounds like that's just like the Passion Network.
Yeah.
They're one and the same.
Who did that show?
Misha, our friend. Local Guelph legend, former GOS employee.
I'll listen to that episode when I get home.
It's not even out yet.
Oh,
it's
there you go.
It's in the docket.
I love it. I think
that
and you
one's
record
coming.
ahead, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
your thing. So how far ahead are you?
This show, I believe, is meant to air on March 14th.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that wild?
That's great.
Because it gives me such a nice... The big reason I was afraid of starting a show for a long time is because I get into a lot of... I run in a lot of circles, and I tend to have things going on. And so well, which is a funny way of saying, oh, I'm a popular guy. I love doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want those chains on me of having to come in here Friday nights at 9 p.m. sharp.
Yeah.
And having to record a live show. And but with the magic of pre-recording, I don't have to worry about that.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I'm so grateful for the pandemic for teaching me that. You know, it's like, oh, I don't have to be there live. I can record from home at my own free will.
And you can edit it
and broadcast. Although
I would love to try a live show at some point.
I did a live show for many years, and it was fine. And I guess I was more diverse in how I presented ideas, and I'm grateful now that I am a bit more direct or focused, maybe. So. Yeah, it's nice to pre-record, not necessarily have to do it all live.
Whereas I feel like, I could use the opposite lesson.
Yeah.
Of how to let go a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think there's the good people at CFRU do a live show called Training Wheels on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Where they let people come on and do a live show. I might have to take them up on that.
That's a great idea, and they're good people, and so I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
I want future guest Jenny Mitchell.
Yeah,
is involved in that.
What a good radio show producer.
Oh yeah,
you know, like a lot of I don't know Jenny that well, but everything I see and hear from Jenny is beautiful and amazing and intriguing, and I'm always like, oh, I wish I thought of that. You know.
No, I feel that too.
Yeah.
A few months ago, she did an interviewing series, of workshops. It was all about how to interview. And I thought, well, it would just be like a disservice to my pride and my show if I didn't show up for that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, do I take this seriously? Do I love what I make, and do I want it to be good? I have to show up. And so there I was, and it was lovely. It made me think a whole new way about this medium. And it's like, because I never learned any specific things about interviewing. I sort of just started doing it, and I don't think I'm great at this by any stretch. I mean, I think I'm good at it, but there's so much to learn, and I love that. It's like with climbing. It's so nice to be at the bottom of a ladder.
Yeah.
And just be humble and know that you can be prideful, but also see how far you have to go.
Yeah.
Feels good. I feel like it's a good way to be.
Yeah. I'll tell that story later maybe, but there's a lot of chances in our lives to be humble. And it's really nice. It's really nice. And it's a good reminder, and it's good, let things go, and you can never think yourself better than others, maybe like more experienced, but always remember that like you have a long way to go. You always have a long way to go. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never all the way there.
No.
It's just it's a beautiful place to be.
And that's where the passion comes in, to keep you propelled, forward, momentum, right? Like when you lose that momentum, the passion's there to push you forward. And then I'm also reminded, though, that like passion's not all of it on its own, right? You need to build some structure in to allow for, there might be days where the passion fizzles. But you need something else that keeps you going as well.
That's the genius of pre-recording.
That's the genius. Yeah. Set it up so you're successful even when you're just like, I can't.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm out of shows now. I record one and I'm like, well, that's it. There's no one else who's in the city of Guelph or beyond who wants to be on this show.
Yeah.
But then I have a month of shows on the docket, and eventually I find a bunch of people. I'm like, oh yeah, it's never ending.
It is.
But I definitely have gotten down on this before. So the people are asking me something, Byron. I hear it. They're actually in my ears right now.
Okay.
I can see them there, the listeners. This is where the listeners sit, by the way.
Yeah.
They're sitting right there invisibly. They're driving their cars right now.
Yeah.
And they're communicating with me in my earpiece.
Yes.
And they're saying, Wizard, ask the question. And so here it goes. Byron, what are you passionate about?
So much.
Yeah,
so
right?
much. I am passionate about the natural world.
The natural world.
Which includes us.
It certainly
Totally does. I am passionate about wildlife tracking. Following, as my friend Danny says, which way them critters going?
Which way them critters going?
Yeah, and that's what I'm all about.
That's the question. That's the big question. We're always asking that at outdoor school.
Yeah.
Poking around. We're out there in the natural world.
Yeah.
Or doing wildlife tracking.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's so much fun. It's beautiful.
Why?
And I love it a lot.
Why? Sounds boring. Tell me.
Dear God. Okay.
Yeah, snooze. No, I'm only playing.
Okay, let me just start. I
I
totally know you're just playing. Let me just start. I can work back every single day if I wanted to, every day of my life. But I'll start with today. Today, I'm hanging out with some kids, right? I'm talking to them. I'm trying to get through this like morning circle situation where we're all coming together to share
attempting to align.
Attempting to align. That's great. All of a sudden, behind us, these crows are going crazy. They're just yelling. So many. We're like, should we go? Should we go follow them? And we get up, we start running. I start running way past, I just start going. I'm not looking, I'm listening for the crows. And one of the kids, he's like walking along, and I think he stumbles, and so he's like, Byron! And I turn back, he's like, dead rabbit. And I'm like, what? And I turn back, I ignore the crows. I've got so much ADHD, it's hard. But
well, ain't that just the story of our existence?
I know, but this is good. This is where the tracking comes in. So I turn around, I go look, there's a dead rabbit on the top of the snow. No new snow has fallen on this rabbit.
Okay.
And the kids are kind of impressed. They're just like looking at the rabbit, and they're like, can we touch it? And one kid reaches over to touch the fur, and I'm just, wait. This is like an investigation. We have to take some photographs. We have to look before we touch. And we look, and the kids don't notice the most important thing. They just don't see it.
I love when that happens.
So I'm looking at it all with them, and they're talking about what's going on. They're talking about the crows. They're talking about this rabbit. And they're like, one kid always says, is it sleeping? You're like, no, it's not sleeping. And they're sitting around, they're talking. I'm like, do you see what's missing? And that's a hard question. How do we see what's not there? Right? Like,
thinking in negatives is famously difficult.
It's famous, and especially for children, I think, because they're better at seeing and observing what is there rather than noticing what's not. They're really good at that. And none of them could figure it out. And so I reached down and I picked up this rabbit. And then a few of them were like, oh. I was like, yeah, it doesn't have a head. And they were just like, oh yeah, I see that. And I was like, and it doesn't have a front left leg, And they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, and it's been eviscerated. You know? And they're like, what? Some of the kids are like, what's eviscerated? And I'm like, your viscera, your intestines.
Oh, good
all
little
the good
etymology
stuff,
here.
Yeah. Have been
Viscera.
removed, so you've been eviscerated. Yeah. They've been
Excellent.
taken out.
Eviscerated visceral. Never made that
Visceral,
connection.
yes. Yeah.
All right.
When you feel something in your guts, it's very
Viscera.
visceral. Yeah.
Wow.
So we pick up this dead, frozen, headless, front left footless.
I love that they
rabbit.
didn't notice the headless
I know.
aspect.
I know.
I mean, depending on how it was laying, I suppose it could look
It could have been
like tucked
in.
away.
But you know what? I have
still
to
you're
name
focused
too
on
that
the body.
I know I didn't even notice the rabbit. Right? Like when I walked, I ran by. When I ran by, I didn't even notice the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I can blame the angle of the tree. I can blame I'm looking up and away from where the rabbit was for me, and the kids walked around the other way and they saw it. But I'm not going to blame them for not noticing.
No, of course not.
But it's just like
We all notice different things. They notice the rabbit. You notice the lack of a head.
yeah, and it's this beautiful thing because what that rabbit teaches us is also what those crows are after, right? Who comes to the forest and kills an animal but only takes their head? Owls do that. Owls do this. They do this behavior when they're already getting enough to eat. So they just go in. Oh man, years ago we were at another part of the forest.
I didn't know they did that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I learned this because years ago there's another part of the forest with Carolyn Ross.
All right, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. We were walking along, and we found this grackle, another bird in the blackbird
Ooh, I love a
family.
grackle. I love a grackle.
And this grackle had no head. And the kids were like, why is it moving?
Ooh.
And I was like, I know why. Like this. And they're like, is it alive? I'm like, no, you can't live without a head, not for very long. And so they were like wondering why it's moving. And I'm like,
I have a guess.
okay, what do you think?
It was filled with little bugs and critters and creatures.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Totally full of maggots on the inside. And the grackle's just like wiggling about there on the ground because the maggots are eating it all.
Nasty beautiful.
It's nasty beautiful. And it's like, I had to look up, okay, what just comes along and eats the heads? And I think it was only a few weeks before Carolyn and I had been in there. We saw a great horned owl at the school right now with this same spot of the forest where this rabbit with no head is. We've seen a barred owl, and people keep seeing signs of this barred owl. Maybe even people saw another headless rabbit nearby a couple of weeks ago. And so it's just like this ongoing thing that they're just eating the brain. They're eating the head, just eating the brains inside, and they're leaving.
There's probably some good minerals in the brain.
Oh yeah, fats, proteins. It's like that's the stuff for winter, right?
Yeah.
A lot of other eating, like the meat part that we think of as the nutritious part in an animal, is actually not always the best. It's that organ meat that's probably more healthy or full of nutrients, and then the fat content, the protein in the brain.
I feel like we are so meat focused because we're protein focused.
Yeah.
Whereas the brain has like iron and stuff.
Irons, fats, all sorts of other things. And often
I guess muscles also have iron.
When we need certain things, certain minerals for our bodies, those things are stored in the same places in the bodies of other animals, right? So it's like probably for the functioning of our brain, if we ate more brain, it'd probably be good for us.
That's a good thing. I'm constantly eating brain metaphorically by doing this radio show.
There you go, eating people's brains. Yeah, but like wildlife tracking allows us to encounter these mysteries and pull them apart and learn more things, right? Or I just led a week-long wildlife tracking in Algonquin Park.
That's right. You've been on your big Byron adventure.
So much fun. We're tracking wolves. We're tracking moose. We're tracking martens and snowshoe hares and all sorts of things.
This is a perfectly timed show because you're only here as you've just been so busy and now you're back.
Yeah.
And we get to hear it.
Yeah.
Some adventures from your...
It's amazing. It's like, and you follow the trail of an animal all day. For a couple of the moose we caught up to. The wolves you can't catch up to. Like it'd be very rare to catch up to the wolves unless just
by following their tracks.
Yeah, they move so fast. They move so fast, and their baseline is go. You know, like that's just their
They're neutrally existing in go mode. As opposed to stay.
Yeah, and they hunt on the move.
Uh-huh.
Right? So they're always hunting. They're always moving. But some beautiful things were found on that trail because we were following along. We found it in the morning at around 7:30 in the morning. We found their trail, and there was 3 wolves, 1 large one, 2 smaller ones. One of the smaller ones, in their urine, there was a little bit of blood.
Okay.
And
that implies a lot.
That implies a lot, especially this time of year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The large one, 27-inch half-stride length, is probably a male, right?
Uh-huh.
Big wolf. Where we're looking around, they're scent marking, they're following these other wolves, and these other 2, the smaller ones, one has blood in the urine, like I said. And do you know what that means right now?
No idea.
You want to give it a guess?
I'm trying to think about it in like human terms.
Sure. It's a little bit...
just as a place to start.
Yeah.
But, does it have an injury? Is it sick? Or is it... I have no idea. That would be my guess.
Okay, so...
an injury of some kind.
It's not an injury. It's sort of like, technically, it's not the same as like the blood that's running through their veins.
Mm-hmm.
It's this pre-estrus blood.
Okay.
Meaning that this wolf is a female.
Gotcha.
And she's
okay.
just about ready to come into heat. So
I see. Classic wizard not being able to guess that.
I mean, it's not a human condition,
No,
right? Like
yeah.
it's a canine condition and some other animals.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. When we saw it, I'm overjoyed, right? Like, I was up in Algonquin over February 14th. And February 14th, everybody knows, is the day of love. Not because of Valentine's Day. I don't care about Valentine's Day, but what it
Valentine's, who cares?
What it is,
crap about
it's
that guy.
peak mating season for the eastern coyote in southern Ontario.
All
February
right.
14th.
Wow.
So I'm sad that I'm missing out on that. But to be up there with the Algonquin wolf, with the eastern wolf, Canis lycaon, this species that's only in a few spots in Ontario, Algonquin Park, sometimes it's called the Algonquin wolf because it's found so populously in Algonquin Park, to see signs of could be or will be mating in a couple of days is exciting because this is a federally endangered species, only found in these small populations. Mm-hmm. So when you see sign of that's hope, that's possibility, that is joy, and to anthropomorphize, that is community and family, and possibly, how do we say this for another animal? Oh, I know this exists between me and my cat or a dog. There's love, and like, this is amazing to see. And when I see this, it's so rewarding, and I'm just so excited by it. And so when I'm tracking these animals, when I'm trailing these animals and following them all day, and I find that 1 or 2 little drops of blood, it means so much that it's what keeps pulling me out, right? It keeps me going out day after day after day, year after year, throughout the whole year, not just in winter in the snow, but all the time, finding these small signs of other animals, that are inhabiting these places that we inhabit as well, that we're sharing space with. But, often, okay, I'm gonna get into a metaphor here, and I use this all the time when I'm teaching.
Sign me up.
We're at a party.
Okay.
We're at a party.
I like where you're going with
all
this.
of us, all these humans.
Excellent.
We're in the goddamn kitchen, sitting around the island.
Oh, yeah.
Talking to each other with our drinks in our hand.
Sounds wonderful.
We haven't left the kitchen in a long time.
Because we're locked in.
We're locked in.
We're focused on one another.
We're focused on one another. But all around us, there's a party raging. Okay. And wildlife...
Oh, it's one of those moments. I gotcha.
Wildlife tracking, what it does is it teaches us to step out of the kitchen and to look around the rest of the house at this party. And you'll start to see who's hanging out with who's not hanging out with who, right? You look around the room, you're like, oh, you're not hanging out with that guy. I know why.
Yeah, Johnny isn't hanging out with Susie.
No, not anymore.
Oh, but Susie is hanging out with Linda.
Oh, what happened there?
Interesting.
Oh, did you notice that Susie happens to be eating Sam? Interesting.
Sammy.
So it's like,
what was Sammy eating?
Yeah. What's going on upstairs? What's going on in the basement? What's going on out back? Is that a pool? There's some dangerous stuff at the watering hole. We got to go check that out.
Can I jump in that?
Yeah.
I
wouldn't jump in there right away. Just go take a look first, see what's in there.
Yeah, look before you touch, kids.
Yeah. But like we are at this party, and all we have to do is turn around and start engaging with this other world. This imminent world that's always around us. From the studio here, where the ants and dust mites and these spiders might be going by, that we can learn to see their signs, to a wilderness, a sort of wilderness like Algonquin Park, or like a wilderness like Toronto, with the back alleys where the raccoons live, where the rats live, where the opossum and the skunk are wandering around, right?
Or even the urbanism of people tracking.
Yeah. I mean, that's important too. Like we talk about that too. Like, how do we track people? How do we track ourselves? And with that one, you can go deep. You can go real deep, right?
Oh yeah.
And we are animals just like everyone else. And tracking's amazing for this. I'm just going on.
That's what the show is all about.
Great.
Please.
There's this philosopher I like, Baptiste Morisot. He's great. And he talks about interspecies diplomacies. So how do we learn from wildlife tracking how other animals engage with each other to create spaces of, sure, there's need and food and like you have to eat something, you have to kill it to eat it, but that's at a necessity, that's at a requirement. So otherwise, animals can live in co-shared territories without violence, without harming even one another. Even animals that we may have this antagonistic image of, that can still cohabitate and sometimes even work together. Sometimes it's necessary for each other. I was just away for a week before the Algonquin week. I was up north in Elk Lake, and I was tracking lynx. And when you're tracking lynx, you inevitably end up tracking snowshoe hares because their life cycles are so intertwined. When there's a boom in snowshoe hare populations, then the population of lynx goes up. When the population of snowshoe hares goes down, the population of lynx goes down. And since 1877 or something like that, when the Hudson Bay Company started keeping records to like the 60s or to the 40s after the World War II, when the government of Canada started taking over the records, you can always see, and up to now, that when the population of snowshoe hare goes down, the lynx go down. When it goes up, the lynx go up. And so there's this correlation. These species that we think we have these antagonistic perspectives on, they also have these intertwined requirements of each other. They need each other in a way, and if one species is missing, the system starts breaking down, right? And we learn about these diplomacies. We learn about how these animals interact and what they need from each other by tracking. And then we can start to see, how do we interact in a better way? How do we learn how to get along in a way where still we have to survive, and we don't have to look at antagonistic relationships all the time. We can look at mutualist relationships. How do different species work together? How does the monarch or the butterfly work with like a sapsucker who works with a hummingbird? And how do these species work together in a system? And then when we look at these models of how these animals are working together, then we can learn about, how do we do better as a species? How do we do better as neighbors and community with the human world and with the more than human world? And what lessons can we learn from them? And I mean, I know so little. I know so little.
Oh, it's just such an enormously complex system.
Incredibly complex.
And the more you get to know it, the more you know how much you don't.
Amen. That brings us back to that story that I was talking about earlier about, like, we were on these moose trails recently, and we're trailing these moose, and then you go uphill, you start falling, you look at the pattern and how they're putting their foot into the snow and how they're taking it out, and that's how we sort of figure out the direction of travel, which way the animal's moving. As you go down the hill, the foot goes into the snow in a different angle and comes out at a different angle than as if it was going upwards. It's kind of backwards. Mm-hmm. And this conundrum of the direction of travel confused me so often. I was humbled so often on these trails. And like, I was rewarded as well. You know, like we figured them out some of the times. But what it does is it just reminds us that, like, we don't know everything. We can't know everything, no matter how much we try, no matter how much we think we know. We are so stunned. And like, not only is our knowledge of a system changing all the time, but now more than ever, the systems are changing.
That's true. Things that you once knew.
Yeah. They're changing. Species complexity, diversity, and richness is changing. New species are coming in. Some species are dying out or they're moving out. Mm-hmm. Ecologies are changing. Broad ecologies are changing because of climate change, because of habitat loss. You know, the more we think we know, it just fizzles out. You know, It's great. It's so good. Yeah, your brain is always working, and it's always got to pick things up and lose things. And I keep talking to people. We're thinking 13 dimensions here. You know, like we're thinking if you're
like string theory.
It's beautiful. It's like okay, because like if you get on an animal trail, you got to think of the animal. Okay, so we'll just go size, weight, whether the animal's been fed or whether they've eaten recently, whether they're injured. Okay, so let's call that 4 dimensions.
Yeah, we got 4 characteristics here, 4 dimensions.
And then we got to think of the substrate, the thing that they're walking on. Is it
mud?
Is it snow? Okay, let's go with snow. What kind of snow?
Oh,
is it fluffy snow? Is it?
I'd say it's like icy snow. It's rained recently and frozen.
Great. So you got to know what happened before with the weather. You got to know what happened recently with the weather. You got to know what's happening right now with the weather. So we'll just call that, we'll keep it very simple and call that 3 dimensions. So now we have 7 dimensions that we're thinking about. Then you got to think of, what is this animal in pursuit of? Are they in pursuit of bed? Are they in pursuit of food? Are they in pursuit of a mate?
In pursuit of water.
Water?
Perhaps. Are they in anti-pursuit? Are they in pursuit of staying alive?
Are they trying to get away from something? So let's call that another 4 dimensions. What do we got? 11? And then every when you think of
every time you ask a new question, you have a whole round of new dimensions to keep track of.
Beautiful, because you start stacking these things and pulling them apart, and new questions come up all the time, new dimensions of how you interact with it. And it's like, for someone like me, I get bored quick for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But when I chose to study the natural world, it's
impossible to be bored.
It's expletive, impossible to get bored. Like, especially
once you open your eyes to see these questions, which I feel like is the tricky part.
Yeah,
like that's what I find myself trying to teach or like impart when I'm at outdoor school more than anything.
Yeah,
because I don't know the answers. And a lot of young people aren't even asking for the answers because they don't know what the questions are.
Yeah.
And no one, it's like, so we teach how to ask, how to not know.
Yeah.
This is the thing I'm often fighting back against, it seems, is some people, young people, will see something interesting and then just go right to saying like, oh, I know exactly what happened. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And it's I kind of love that like boldness.
Yeah.
But it's also like, maybe you don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe that's okay. We can ask some questions without answers about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, something I see with the young people when they're, sometimes they don't ask questions. Sometimes they don't even hazard a guess. Mm-hmm. because, and I'm going to throw a little shade here.
Yeah, do it.
The conventional learning systems that we come up in.
Oh,
like
don't worry.
school,
You're not alone in this train of thought and the history of this show. We can throw shade against conventional learning systems.
Conventional learning systems, we're taught that we have to be right.
Oh, yeah.
We have to be. And I do this too. And I am challenging myself to allow spaciousness for complexity and not have to be right. Nobody can see my air quotes here, but no.
Oh, that's another long-running theme.
Yeah,
is visual elements.
Yes,
the viewers, unless they're driving a car right now, they can close their eyes and imagine you making air quotes.
Yeah, right now.
And that way they're getting a multi-dimensional experience of the Passion Show, which I love.
So
you're making air quotes about being right.
Being right, and like I think that instead of being right and having the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
We can work towards that in a second. But first, like you were saying, let's ask good questions. Because the curiosity creates, as one of my teachers, John Young, writes about and talks about, is that the curiosity creates the vacuum. And the vacuum, nature abhors a vacuum, right? So it has to get filled. And if we ask the right questions, we start bugging people with those questions, it starts burning. It starts like burning and burning. They got to figure it out. They got to
fill this empty space created by a question.
And that's what we do when we quickly come up with answers. Like, oh, I know what happened, because you're struggling with that vacuum. You can't handle it. And like part of our job, I think, is to nurture that vacuum and not feel dangerous about it, feel safe within that uncertainty, and then giving each other the resources to take it to the next step of filling a little bit of that vacuum. Because inevitably what's going to happen is once you know something, you're going to have more questions about it, and you're going to keep going. And then once you know something, you're going to have more questions. You're going to keep going, go deeper and deeper.
It's like a self-sustaining system.
Yes.
Of just being driven further and further into curiosity world.
Yes. Yeah. I welcome to my house.
The curiosity world.
Yeah, it's it.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's where Byron lives. 123 Curiosity World Street.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I'm so lucky that the planet and beyond is made up of this thing. It's just like you can't stop.
Yeah, right. Aren't you blessed that your passion
is everything?
Yeah, and it's everywhere.
I used to have a show on here called Inner and Outer Space, because I couldn't name what I wanted to focus on. So I was like, okay, well, Inner and Outer Space focuses on everything.
I remember you telling me about this as we sat on Skyland on a sunny and beautiful day.
Oh.
We ideated this show. We dreamed of this show. You're the second person in a row that I've had on the show, not chronologically on the show, but chronologically in real recording time.
Yeah,
who's been part of the origin story of the Passion Show with Wizard.
Beautiful.
The last person to come on here, Sasha of Tractor Beam fame, had a show on the CFRU equivalent in Vancouver.
Okay, which one's that?
It's CR. It's not TR. It's I forgot what it is. It's like CR something.
Okay.
This is embarrassing. This was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I know the name of this station. It's the station that has Nardwuar on it. It's like CRTI or something like that.
We could even go ask somebody right now, but we don't need to.
We don't need to.
Yeah.
But anyways, he used to have a show way back in like 2021 probably. Called the Flower Power Hour. Lovely name for a show.
Yeah, it's good.
And I remember telling him like, oh man, that's the coolest thing. And he was saying like, you got to have a show, man. You could do this. And that planted the seed that became this show. But then you, nurturer that you are, nurtured that seed, brought that seed into reality. All of roughly a year ago. I'm going to share an anecdote. I wonder if you remember this. I was driving you home from the Guelph Outdoor School, the place where we work.
Yeah.
And I had shuffled my music, as one does, pressed the big shuffle button, and a song came on called Thousands of Hours of Birds, which is a lovely song. I forget who makes that song. That's embarrassing. I was talking about it, and you were like, Wizard, you got to have a radio show.
Yeah.
And do you remember this?
I remember this.
And I remember where we were. I said I had fond memories at the Victoria and York intersection because that's where we were. Among other fond memories, stuff always goes down at that intersection.
Yeah.
So it's like a intersecting ley lines situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that got me thinking about it. And then later on, there we were, kicked back on top of Skyland with their beautiful Tending the Wild group, ideating further. I'd had the idea, I think, at that point for the Passion Show. And I was sort of just like, Byron, tell me everything you know about the CFRU place. I haven't gone in there yet, I'm afraid. And you told me about Inner and Outer Space, and I thought that was hilarious. And that made me feel a little more comfortable to start without a certain amount of experience or a plan or this or that or the other thing, to just get in there and like get my nose wet and just start throwing stuff at the wall, stuff.
Yeah.
And now here we are. So
that's great.
I'm grateful to you for that.
Oh, I'm grateful that you're doing it. I've this medium means a lot to me too. I could do a passion show about radio.
Oh wow! Like, you wouldn't be the first or the last.
Yeah. When we were kids, we used to like go out and get tapes from my mom. We'd steal these tapes of like different preachers, and we'd tape over the corners, the little tabs there.
Yeah.
And we'd make our own radio show. I have these awful
amazing
tapes of when I was a kid.
Taping over the corners. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, past and future guest Chicho recently invested in a little tape recorder, and he's learning the same trick.
It's a good tool.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's good. You can also stuff like a little piece of paper in there, and that works if you don't have tape. Anything. Or you can even just hold the tab up.
That is hilarious.
And then close the
That's so cool. So you've been making radio shows since you were just a wee one.
Yeah, all the time.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I used to sing to myself in them. I think we had this Fisher-Price Brown tape player thing. It was like indestructible. And it took like 4D batteries, but it had a record button. And I could just record. It had a built-in mic. The later iteration of this had like a mic on a cord, so you could feel like you're on a mic. But I actually preferred the mic on the radio itself. And I used to just sit there when I was like 6, and I'd record into this thing.
That's amazing. Holy.
Probably sing old church songs or whatever I learned. That's probably all I knew then. But
that's like profound. If we could ever hear that, like if someone was ever to find that, locate that artifact, I feel like that would be like deeply moving. And
I have
strange.
one of those artifacts still, but I'm reluctant to share because maybe not the 6-year-old one, but the 13-year-old one, and so maybe you can understand why it might be reluctant to share.
No, I can totally understand why you would be reluctant to share. That's like a bloody thing. Like that is. Yeah. Like that's sort of why I'm fascinated by
a lot of crude jokes.
Oh yeah.
And we were taping over preachers, and so we'd like listen to what the preacher said, and then when they said something funny, we'd press pause, record, and then respond to it.
That's so
yeah. It was bad.
I love just like that kind of document.
Yeah.
Just like titillates me so much. That's what I try, and I've really been on a kick of trying to make stuff like that. With the intention of it being like that, of just like really like raw snapshot of a moment type things.
What does that look like for you? Like, well, how are you making that?
Just in movie form.
Okay.
And oftentimes it's just finding a song, or ideally someone playing a song, me playing a song, a friend playing a song, and then making like a slideshow of pictures. I'm a big photographer.
Yeah. A good photographer too.
And just I appreciate that.
Yeah. I appreciate your skill.
Yes, I love taking the pictures.
It's helped me fill out a few dating profiles. So,
oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, don't mention.
Yeah, it's great. It's good.
Yeah, I love getting pictures of my friends looking awesome.
Yeah.
And of everything looking awesome. So, yeah, I have all these pictures, and I look at all my pictures. I have my hard drive full of pictures. I say, what am I supposed to do with you? Well, why not just make a little movie about what's going on around me, so I can keep track of that, and so that one day I can track my life, my own history, and follow my life and my loves, who are the subjects of my little movies.
Would you consider this project like Would you call yourself an archivist?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
Like
That's exactly my real dream one day. And this is, I've said before, I wish everyone did a radio show or something like this, because I think, and I inevitably, this always ends up happening when I create, is that I am creating with my own desires in mind. You know, I'm my like ideal, optimal audience member.
Yeah.
And you know, if only everyone made the passion shows, because my God, would I consume them all. And what I look forward to, truly, I want to make as much of the show as I can. And then one day I'll be taken away from Guelph for some reason. And then there will be no more passion show. And then maybe a decade will pass. Maybe I'll sire an offspring. You know, maybe I'll do this, that, or the other thing or whatever. And then I'll return to this. And it'll be a beautiful thing, just like you returning and hearing your cassettes and knowing what you were when you were 13. I'll get to know what I was when I was 27, and all the people I loved and knew, and how I felt and how a bunch of people felt. And that'll be a beautiful thing. So this passion show exists for now, certainly, like to honor now and to serve now. But it also definitely is meant to be an archive. It is. I think in the very first show, I talked about this being like a what's it called? When you put a bunch of stuff in a box and bury it underground.
Like a time capsule?
A time capsule, that's
Cool.
right. It's like a time capsule being built in public.
Yeah.
For myself and for my loved ones.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so, yeah, I would consider myself an archivist.
Yeah. Because it sounds like my mom was a librarian, so I grew up.
Oh, that's beautiful.
With an
that's right. I
archivist,
think I did know that.
And someone who knew how to access archives and help people find what they were looking for. And I know that there's different fields in librarianship, right? There's those who help people find what they're looking for, and there's those who are good at like archiving materials so that they can be found later. You know, and I feel like what you're doing is you're creating this big shoebox for yourself of memories and meaningful moments and community, either through your photographs, your films, through the radio, and I would also say through like your web development work, because so much of that revolves around the communities that you're a part
It's
of
true.
as well. So
It's true. The bands, the interests,
yeah,
they get archived.
and you get to help them create that. Yeah.
And those things are hopefully going to be around forever. And in some way they are, because I archive them. Those websites are going nowhere.
How do you do all this? And also, this is me projecting here, because I'm really considering ditching like an Instagram page that I have for the radio show. How do we do this? How do we archive these moments? How do we share these moments without handing them over to these strange institutions that we may not, I should say estranged institutions, that we may not know all the details of what they're doing with it. We may not feel so comfortable with what we do know that they're doing with it. So how do we reclaim
Interesting. That's a great question.
control or agency over the things that we create that we want to archive? Because these systems that they've created are so useful, so efficient, but then
The
in some
Instagrams
ways,
of it all.
yeah, in some ways they aren't ours.
That's true.
Anymore. So like,
Well, what I'm always in service of the self-hosted dream.
yeah,
This show, like this show exists in two forms. Form number one, the radio.
yeah,
The radio, and I know pretty much exactly what goes on there. They get
Yeah.
an MP3, they play it on the radio. It exists for one moment at a time, and then when it's done, it's gone.
it is archived.
It is archived.
Yeah.
But even that's on a hard drive somewhere, which is connected to the internet, aka a server. I know how those work.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that. And the other format that this show exists in is as a quote unquote podcast. And although this show isn't a podcast, it's a radio show.
Yeah, yeah.
And I actually self-host the podcast. So I don't upload it to anywhere. I upload it to my own server, and I send my XML file,
Yeah.
which gives all these MP3s, a name and a publish date and metadata. I send them to Spotify. I send them to Apple Podcasts. I send them to the podcast index, and it gets shown. And they don't own it. They don't even make money off of it when it gets shown. I own it. and I can revoke that access from those platforms at my leisure.
That's amazing.
Which is how I feel about that.
Yeah. I love that.
And the Instagram thing, I don't like Instagram. I wish I could promote the show just with posters. But what I do like about it is that at least it gets more ears on this. And I like the idea of people hearing it. I think there's a lot of valuable stuff on this show. And so, I guess every week I post my little selfie that says 9 p.m. sharp on CFRU. I barely ever promote the like podcast platforms. I just tell people to tune in, which great. I think does limit my reach, but who cares?
My reach goes far. I know that, but it doesn't do anything for me in that way, right? Like it's not reciprocal. Mm-hmm. But when it affects local community, like the podcast, it goes everywhere. It's whatever. But the radio show. The radio part of it, when people say, I was driving home from work Monday, 6 o'clock, your radio show came on. I loved it. You were talking about, what were you talking about again? And like, they don't even remember, and I don't care. It's just that people can engage, and I can engage with them afterwards, right? Whereas the podcast sometimes feels so one-sided. And I think the internet sells us this idea of community, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like so far removed. Mm-hmm. But the radio, and CFRU in specific, it's not like every other radio station, right? CFRU is not like the radio stations I grew up. Well, I grew up with listening to CIUT and CKDU, and CKDU's in Halifax, and CIUT is in Toronto, and there's another one that I used to listen to in Toronto. But these formats are here to give people agency and to support people to have agency and to make decisions for themselves. Mm-hmm. And they say, here's how our platform works, but you can even come to our meetings to help decide how to shape that platform.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's very good, and it feels so much nicer. And I'm really going through this period right now of how do we do our work? How do we share our work? But how do we share it in good ways? Mm-hmm. And how do we, because we endorse things when we give them our work, right? We say we legitimize these platforms.
All right. Those are great questions.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to be left answerless.
Yes. Well, you've answered some of them already.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I like to end this show with a little gratitude circle.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just say I'm grateful to you for being on the show. I'm grateful for tracking in wilderness. I'm grateful that I and my community have access to the wilderness here in Guelph, Ontario. And I'm grateful for the clouds as well. What are you grateful for?
Man, I'm grateful for warmth right now. I'm grateful for warmth of sitting with a friend and having a good conversation. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful for
it's a beautiful thing.
The warmth that we feel when we hold, a dead rabbit's fur in our hand. And I'm grateful for the endless inspiration that the land shares with me, with the kids we work with everybody who starts practicing asking questions about the land. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love it. It's so good.
I've been Wizard.
I've been Byron.
And remember, only love will stop the killing. Over and out.